Hi, welcome to Juice Bar. Today we're gonna mix a couple of pink ladies. So the Pink Lady is a super old drink, probably originating in the 1910s. It appeared in many cocktail books before. The name probably comes from a 1911 Broadway musical. Today I'm gonna offer you a couple of versions of this drink. One is what I will call the classic version, and the second one it's a older, really old version, but pretty different. So let's get down to it. And let's start with the classic one. I have here a couple of egg whites which I just separated. Let's do 15 milliliters of egg white. Then we go with a fourth of an ounce of grenadine syrup. Fourth of an ounce is 7.5 milliliters, which I'm gonna pour in my jigger, and it's my homemade grenadine, just made with sugar and pomegranate juice. Simmered for a few minutes. I think this should be right. Then we go on with 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. I just squeezed this 2 minutes ago. So 3/4 of an ounce is 22.5 milliliters of lemon juice. Then we're gonna need half an ounce of Applejack. I don't have Applejack, the American apple liqueur, but I'm gonna use Calvados, which from what I hear should be pretty much the same. Maybe not really the same, but should be fairly similar. Most recipes they say either use Applejack or Calvados, and many people actually say Calvados is better, so let's try with 15 milliliters of Calvados. This is from Christian Drouin, the maker of one of my favorite gin. It's a Calvados producer, and this is their selection, which is aged only a couple of years, but it's decent for cocktail. And then we finish with 1.5 ounce of dry gin, which means 45 milliliters, and I'm gonna use this Cotswolds dry gin, which is excellent. Well, actually I hope I have enough. Let's see if I have enough. Yeah, I do have enough. Maybe it's over really. Yeah, just right, 45 milliliters, and the bottle is gone. So now I would like to dry shake this. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna shake it first. Then I'm gonna get some ice. And then I'm gonna give one more shake. And let's double strain in our chilled cup. Let's garnish with a brandied cherry. And there you go, a pink lady following one of the more traditional recipe I could find online. Let's give this a try. Cheers. The aroma is really good. A mix of Calvados and gin. This is dry. And it's actually also barely pink. Maybe it needed a tiny bit more grenadine syrup, in my opinion. Also the mouthfeel is a bit weird. I really wonder if the difference between Applejack and Calvados really set the sugar off, meaning that it came out a lot drier than it was supposed to. Yeah, I'm not convinced about this. The smell is good, it's a bit too dry, and the egg thing didn't quite work out. Didn't make a good foam on top. Maybe that's my fault. Did I shake it with ice too much? Maybe it was better a reverse dry shake. I don't know. In most of my drink I prefer a dry shake to a reverse dry shake. You can check out the video where I tested with a pisco, just to give a more uniform mouthfeel. Maybe this is a cocktail where it was better doing the opposite. Maybe I made some mistake, but this doesn't convince me. It's a bit too dry, the mouthfeel is not quite right, and that's about it. I don't know. But let's try this other version of the Pink Lady that comes from Charles H. Baker Jr. and his book The Gentleman Companion. I featured Charles H. Baker Jr. Cocktail before, especially in the context of talking about Hemingway. He was a Hemingway buddy, they fished together, they traveled together. He wrote this book, The Gentleman Companion, which is amazingly written. He has some of the best stories in it. And here is what he says about this particular drink that comes from Miramar Club in Panama. He says, "This is a drink of considerable shocking power, and after consumption, keep out of the sun and in touch with friends." In fact, the proportion he gives, they are way too much for modern drinks, but I'm gonna follow what he says and let's see what we get. So this is quite a different recipe. Let's start from the egg white, though that is something that the two recipes have in common. Okay, then we go on with the juice of lemon, it says. It says half a lemon actually, or one lime. And I guess it's thinking about small lime, so 22.5 seems correct. Then we go on with grenadine syrup, and in this case it says 1 teaspoon to taste. I'm gonna put again, let's say again 7.5 milliliters of grenadine. Then the recipe calls for 2/3 of a teaspoon of absinthe. I'm gonna use this Pernod absinthe, which comes at 68%. And let's try to get 2/3 of a teaspoon. 2/3 of a teaspoon. Maybe like this. Charles H. Baker was a great writer, but his recipes are a bit hit or miss. I tried a couple lately, and some needs a bit tweaking, some are just wrong. Maybe are just old, and so they don't appeal to our palate anymore. Anyway, let's go on with orange bitters, 3 or 4 dishes. That's quite a good amount of orange bitters. Let's do 3. These Scrappies bitters are pretty strong. And then half a jigger of French vermouth. Half a jigger means 22.5 milliliters. A jigger is 45 milliliters. And I'm using Carpano Dry. And then for the massive amount of alcohol, he asks for 1 jigger of slow gin, so 45 milliliters of the gin made using sloes, and then 45 more milliliters of Old Tom gin. And I'm using the Cotswolds to keep things kind of similar to the previous drink. 45 milliliters. This is a huge amount of alcohol. You will not see nowadays in a cocktail. And then I will say, let's skip the dry shake and go directly to our normal shake. So I'm gonna get some ice. Let's give this a good shake. And let's double strain in our flange cup, which I chose because it can contain a bit more volume. Yeah, in fact, look, we are barely fitting in this larger glass. This is a massive drink. It's a bit opaque, but the white egg creaminess came out better. And the recipe doesn't call for any garnish, and I don't think we could fit it anyway. So here you go, a Pink Lady Miramar Club style from Panama. At least it's more pink. Let me have a sip like this because it's too full. Okay, I like this drink better. But let me have a normal sip before giving you my impressions. I like this. I like this because I like the interplay between the absinthe and the sludging, which is quite interesting. They work well together. The rest of the flavor are in the background, and I think that's kind of a good thing. The only thing I can maybe feel is the bitterness of the orange bitters, because I use these orange bitters from Scrappy. If you use the orange bitter from Angostura, you're not gonna have that problem at all. Mouthfeel is nice. The egg worked out fine, making the nice foam on top, even without a dry shake. The only problem is that specified like this is a massive amount of alcohol. It's a lot, but it's good. It works fine. You don't really feel the dry vermouth, but I guess that's not the point. Probably the dry vermouth just give it some more volume and maybe dilute a bit the stronger alcohols. And I think it's good. The amount of grenadine is fine too. The 50 milliliters or so, maybe a bit more of egg white was also fine. It worked out way better than the traditional Pink Lady, which I thought was gonna be the best cocktail of the bunch. I really don't know what happened to this Pink Lady, the traditional one. Most likely exchanging the Applejack for Calvados threw off the balance of the drink. Yeah, and also something weird happened with the egg white. I mean, it's the same egg white I used here and there. But sometimes the acidity of the drink or something can screw up the way the egg white makes a foam. And for some reason it just didn't work out for the classic Pink Lady. If you have any reason why, if you have some suggestion, please leave it in the comments down below. And I will try to see if I can improve this normal Pink Lady. Maybe we'll try another time using your suggestion to make it a bit better. This old but not classic, let's call it Panama Pink Lady, it's actually pretty good. It's just a lot. You might wanna do a 2/3 of this amount for a more reasonable drink. But yeah, actually it's going down quite well. I might even finish it. I don't know how the rest of the day is gonna go, but I might finish it. So if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, comment down below, share with anybody you like and don't like. Shake yourself a drink, and hopefully I will see you next time. Cheers. So Pink Ladies. Pink Ladies were, of course, the group of girls that first are adversarial to Sandy from Greece, Olivia Newton-John, and then they become really good buddies. And which one will be my favorite Pink Lady? And I will say, of course, Rizzo. She's the most interesting, also the better actress. One funny thing, in the movie she's supposed to be 18, and by the time they shot the movie, she was actually 34. In fact, she looks way older. But my really favorite Pink Lady, if you allow me, would be Sandy when she comes out for the last song, You're the One I Want, dressed in leather with the red platform shoes, and she's all mean. And I guess when I saw it, I probably was in elementary school. The movie is from 1978, yes, so probably the first time I saw it, I was a small kid, and that image of this sexy, powerful woman remained impressed on me. And I don't know if this thing shocked me, and so since then I always like strong women, or was it the other way around? I would have always liked strong women, so when I saw Olivia Newton-John in that leather outfit and acting all bossy, I was like, oh god, that's the one I want. I don't know, either way. Olivia Newton-John that sadly passed away just a few months ago, and I don't know anything about her career except for the really good version of Take Me Home Country Roads by John Denver, which is the version that appears in Mimi o Sumaseba, known in English as Whisper of the Heart, the Miyazaki movie that wasn't a Miyazaki movie. So it's a Studio Ghibli movie, and Hayao Miyazaki did everything about the movie. He wrote the script, he did the draft drawings of it, he designed the characters, he wrote the lyrics of Concreto Rodo, the version of the country road song that they sing in the movie in Japanese. He did everything, but then he decided not to direct it. I guess he was missing that something that made it a real Miyazaki movie. But this movie, it's really good. If you never saw it, please see it. It's based on an actual location in Tokyo called Tama, and he portrays it perfectly. It shows you how Tokyo is. It's also a beautiful love story, and he also connects Japan to Cremona, which is really close to my hometown in Italy, as the boy character wants to become a violin maker in the city of Cremona, famous for Stradivari, Del Gesù, Amati. Was Amati another violin maker? Anyway, all the best violin maker from the 18th, 19th century were in Cremona. Cremona is just 40 minutes drive from my home. I go there all the time, and it's a beautiful city. I proposed to my wife there.
Mm-hmm.